Hey, how you doing? This is Chris again. How you doing? Right. Oh, sit a little bit closer to my microphone. My chairs are very creaky, by the way. That's because I'm poor. Now then, I'm going to grab this, and I need to unwrap it. So, if I just go to my modifier list, hit U, and go to Unwrap Uvw. Now, unwrapping used to be the devil's own job, and we all used to hate it, and it would make us cry and sad and stuff. Now it doesn't have to. If I open my UVW view, okay, this is what our map looks like at the minute. If I was to send this off to, try and texture it at all, a disaster would happen. As you can probably imagine. But it doesn't have to. If I hit Control A, go to Mapping, Flatten. I'll set my flatten angle at maybe 57.5 degrees. And just click OK. There we go, it's unwrapped it for me. Now, it's not the best unwrap in the world, but if I need a fast job doing, it's going to do. If I want to get anything better than that, I'm going to have to do it manually. And I'm not going to at the minute. I mean, I'm 1 minute 10 seconds into the video now. And I've got it unwrapped enough for me to work with as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm going to be texturing this because I'm colourblind and I find it a massively helpful tool using Quixel. Now, if you're sighing to yourself and saying, oh, I don't have Quixel, I'm pretty sure there's a free trial of Quixel. Failing that, I think Quixel version 1 is actually free, and you can use that, and it's very, very similar. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to collapse my stack again. I always like to keep it tidy, so right-clicking gets rid of all the stuff on my top there. And I am going to go into Select By Element. Okay, now I'm going to select this and this. These are my two handles. I'm going to press M. I am going to get my first material and I'm going to change its colour like that, and then I'm going to hit Assign Material to Selection. Okay, so now this has changed colour. Now I'm going to hit Control I, and that will invert my selection and select everything else. I'm going to apply my second colour to that. So now we've got two colours going on, yeah? There's a third piece, which is here. I'm going to select this, my third material. I'm not even going to name it. And I'm just going to click all the way down, give it a different colour again, and apply it. And the reason we're doing this is because we can colour mask. Okay, so each individual colour we can assign a texture to if I'm using something like Quixel. If you're not using Quixel, then having them separated off by colour is really useful anyway, because then you'll know what each piece is. Being colourblind, the colours hold no important value to me. In fact, if I was using Quixel the proper way, I'd assign each of these a very specific colour, and Quixel would automatically pick up on that. But I don't have that luxury. Now, this internal polygon here is going to be glass, so I'm going to pick a different colour for that. Maybe that one. And apply it. And then I'm going to click Grow. Okay, until I have everything there, and I'm going to deselect by holding Alt and click the middle polygon, and that will become a kind of a hard plastic surround. So there we go. Okay, so we've got 5 materials on this so far. With me? Now, I don't need to worry so much about the inside part there, because most of the time that'll be hidden by, shadowing or whatever like that. But if you wanted to, you could apply a different material to the inside of it. But as it stands, that'll do for me. Ta-da. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, because some people might want this model, And if you do, I'll make it so you can get the model. How does that sound? Right, scratching my eyeball, it's finished. So I'm going to save it, because you notice I haven't saved it yet. Save as. And I'm going to save it to one of my folders. So here, using the magic of time, as the barbecue pit boys would say, I have got to the folder that I'm planning on using, just here. And I am going to save this as Strongbox 01, just in case I make a variation of it. Okay, and that's the max file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to make sure it's selected, which it is, File, Export, Export Selected. Before I do, actually, I need to... Sorry, completely forgot. I thought this was going a bit quick. I need to render out the colour map, right? So if I hit F9, at the minute you can see, okay, we've got shading and all that kind of biz here. We don't want any shading for our colour map. Okay, you can see it a bit better there. We've got shadows and all sorts generated naturally. So, if I go over to see the light bulb, and I am going to go to Standard, Skylight, just pop it in there. I love this. This still makes me laugh. Arnold. Don't know if you've seen Father Ted. Arnold! Who's Arnold? Love that. Right. With that done, just right click out. If I hit F9, you'll see it's flat. There's no shading. Okay, that's great because we're basically going to use the projections that system. So if I hit 0 with it selected, render a texture. Now this is what you'd normally use if you were using projection mapping inside 3ds Max, which is a very unsatisfying experience, I believe the term is. Now I'm going to click, I'm going to select my Strongbox. Okay. I want to make sure we use existing channel. Never use automatic unwrap. It will undo all the work you've just done. Next, I'm going to add just a diffuse map. Okay, and I'm going to make it, because this is a lot Strongbox, 1024 by 1024. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit render, and it'll give me a warning. It doesn't specify a target map slot. Don't care. Click continue, and now we get this. This is all our color maps, all baked out. Okay, now we can use this, which is great. So I'm going to click Save Image, and in the same folder, okay, I'm going to call this Strongbox. Remember, I'm from Britain, so I'm not going to spell this the same way as you. Color Map. Okay, I'll put a U in mine. I'm going to save it as a target because it's nice and high quality, and click Save. Okay. 24 bits per pixel is enough, no alpha split. Done. Right. Next, I'm going to close this down and I'm going to export my box. So before I do, let's get rid of this skylight. Okay, and I'm going to reset all the colours on my model. So I've just dragged a default colour onto it because I'm taking this to Unreal Engine, so this is easier for me that way. Otherwise I'll have to apply 5 materials to it. The same material 5 times, 5 different areas. You'll understand if you use Unreal Engine. Okay, now I'm going to export. Export selected. Okay, and I should be able to take it to my new folder. Okay, and I'm going to call it Strongbox 01. Not Max, FBX. Click Save. Okay. Done. Right. Now I'm going to load up Quixel. If you don't have Quixel, this is the point where you go, well, thank you very much, that was very interesting, and wander off. If you're curious about Quixel, have a watch. If you've got Quixel, brilliant. If you're curious about Quixel and buy it, please tell the guys, God, I love 3d-Palace, they made me buy this software, and they might send me a free cake or something, because I do like cake. Alright, so I'm going to pause this while I load up Quixel. You won't notice. I will. Oh, lorks a lordy. Right, here's Quixel. It actually loaded pretty quick, surprisingly. If you look at the timestamp in the bottom right, because I'm incredibly unprofessional and always leave my timestamps and things running, and every piece of software in the world in a big bar over here, which reminds me, is that OBS? Yep. Unpin, never using you again, buddy. Okay. I'm going to use DDO. Okay, I'm not going to use NDO at the minute. I could use NDO if I wanted to apply kind of scratching and all kind of other cool things to it. But to be honest, I want to go straight to DDO. Right, so that loads up this little window here. Give it a minute. There we go. Now, in order to start, I only need 2 things. I need a mesh and I need the material ID, which we created, if you remember. Okay, with those 2 things, I can do everything else. Now, I've never recorded Quixel in Camtasia, but I've got a feeling that'll be fine. A lot of people used to complain that the FPS rate was a bit slow, but it isn't. At least not for me. For you, it probably is. Okay, so here we are. I need to go to my warehouse folder. There we go. I'm in my warehouse folder. You'll notice Windows has automatically associated Strongbox with its weird 3D viewer. Fair play to it. It's only 88k, so it's nice and small. And it's a static object, so no matter what happens, it's not going to tax any game engine. Okay, next. Optimize mesh. Don't really want mesh optimized. Material ID, and here it is, Strongbox color map. Okay, so now we've got everything that we need to get started. Now I'm going to click create, and after I've clicked create, or before even, no, after, I'm going to click pause because it'll take a few minutes to do this, and I think if I'm recording it'll take slightly longer. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and click. Okay, so it's done. We have this. Now you may be looking at it and thinking, well, there's not a lot there. Okay, first of all, let's click the 3 button. This will take a moment as it refreshes slowly. There we go. There is our Strongbox. Okay, and if I hold Alt, I can rotate it using the mouse button. Okay, so Strongbox, great. Much love for it. Okay, so what we need to do now is start putting some stuff on it. So first things first, let's get a nice base for this. So I'm going to go over here, add a material for everything, and let's have a metal. And what will our box be made out of? Let's see, it's not aluminium, it's probably steel or something, isn't it? There we go, steel, just a dirty old steel. Right, so I'll just apply that to the box, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on top of that. Okay, so here's our big old rusty old box here now, and you can see it's nice. It's got a layer of rust and dings and dents in it, which is perfect for what we need. Now we can build up on top of that. So next I'm going to add a smart material, and for this I want to go to a nice military looking metal, and this generic gun metal always makes me quite happy, so I'm going to take that. And I'm going to mask this metal. I'm not saying too much because I don't know if Camtasi's going to chug a bit while I'm doing this. It takes a little while. You can look out the window. Imagine products you'd like to buy. Go and look at the 3d-Palace training DVD set, in fact. You know, that'll do some good. Right, there we go, you see? So we've got all sorts of lovely mods as well. So that's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to just click go back, and then I am going to right click and mask this layer to an ID. Won't take long. Okay, now we can see easily which layer that is. Okay, even if you're not colourblind, you can see it's this one. So if I just click on it, you'll see that it's picked up the colour code for it. I can even add this colour to a category if I wanted. Just click done. Alright, now an interesting thing, I was listening last night to, oh I can't remember, it was a breakdown of how they made the special effects for Terminator. That's it, special effects for Terminator. And when they were doing chrome, okay, for the actual internal skeleton of the Terminator, they don't use chrome because chrome doesn't film very well. And I always wondered about that because I could never get the highlights to look right. So I've started using different metal for that as well. So I'm going to add a new metal, and it'll be smart material. And we're going to go down to our metals, see what we've got. I could do with like a white metal if possible. Dirty, rusty, painted steel, white. Scratch painted steel, white. That one. That's what I want. Okay, because I like the idea of having the dark box with the white handles. That way you can see where the handles are when it's dark. Lift it up, take it away. Yeah? So let's give it a minute. By the way, because of the way that I unwrapped this model, okay, which is a bit of a messy way of doing it, you'll notice that we've got seams, okay? Sorry about that. I'll try and get rid of them soon. Anyway, if you'd unwrapped it better, it wouldn't look like that. But I was in a rush. What can I say? Okay, dirty scratch paint, steel, white. Anyway, pretend I haven't done that and it's all perfect, okay? I was just rushing the unwrap. I probably should have left slightly more of a border between the other pieces. Okay, and I'm going to select for that this yellow. If I can't see it, I'm just going to move my mouse wheel. Well, it's green, isn't it? I think it's green anyway. Could be brown. Colour blindness. It's not a cool thing to have when you're a 3D artist. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's okay. The handles are visible now. Done. Right, I need some white plastic, so I'm going to probably use a smart material. I tend to use those a lot. ABS. And see what we've got here. I don't want blue. Grey. That'll do. Grey plastic. Create. Don't get me wrong, I quite like those seams actually, because there's a thing I can do in Unreal Engine that's very, very clever when I use those seams. But that's not the point. Right. Okay, and I am going to bring that back. And I'm going to... what am I going to do again? Oh yeah, assign it layer ID. Pardon me. Okay, and that one is going to be, if I can ever find it, I think it's in there. There it is. That little colour there. Boink. And then that leaves me one last one, which is glass. Which I'm going to apply on there. So, last bit. And if I type in the top glass, and just dirty glass, because that's what it is. Create. It'll turn the entire box glass first, because that's what it does. And obviously we don't want the entire box glass, because that looks mental. What we actually want is just the fingerprint area. So I pull back. Remember, I'm using that little arrow, right click, mask layer to ID. We can see it easily enough. It'll just be down here. Come on, get on with it. There we go. There it is, that colour there. Okay, done. So that's good. Now then, just have a look at my box here, see how it's going. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. Now, what I want to do to get rid of these, okay, which are basically like little edge borders on the colour map, there's a couple of things I can do. I can either manually those edges, or because this is the base layer, all I have to do really is just go here, because now I've built everything else on top of it. I can just clear my mask, because everything else is painted on top of it, remember, so it goes top down. And there, now the seams are gone. Now remember, we've still got this thing at the back here, which I don't think should really be that colour. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add one last material, and I think this one should be a metal. And I don't want it rusted or anything like that. Let's have a look and see what we've got. It'd be quite... I imagine the hinges would be quite busy, so let's go with that. Shiny brushed steel. And I'm pretty sure I separated this off as a separate group. I've just got to try and remember what colour it is, what colour it looked like, or whatever. Okay, so there it is. Pull back. Shiny brushed steel. Right click. Mask layer to ID. You see how this is quick though? Overall, this entire process of building this asset, I mean, I know I do this a lot, and I know, to be honest, I'm fairly quick at doing stuff, but with practice it doesn't take long. You know, you go out there and you see people selling assets on the Unreal Marketplace or the Unity Marketplace. God, you know, that's great. I needed one of those. It's only like $10. It's only $15. It's only $20. This was no dollars. none at all. This is now mine. I've done it. I've built it myself. You can reduce the amount of scratching on it very easily. I mean, you know, if you don't like how much scratching there is on the generic gunmetal, just go into this group. And you can reduce the opacity of the surface scratches. You can literally paint them out if you want to. You know, I could go over here and just literally do all sorts of stuff to it, you know. I can get rid of it altogether if I wanted to. I can paint the Dynamask in full shaded mode. I can add to this. I could literally add a paint layer or a material to this layer very, very easily. Okay. Made good progress on this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop. Now, if you don't use Unreal Engine, stop watching. Okay? This is your cue to go and do something else. If you do, come with me and we'll do some more stuff. Okay? Until then, see you in a bit. Bye-bye for now.